Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is preseason football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see the 15-year veteran Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers as they take on Derek Carr and the Oakland Raiders. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
It is a building that first hosted football way back in 1966 as EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Oakland, California. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The folks around the stadium clad in silver and black going to make every last game played in Oakland count. They're ready to go as their Raiders get set to match up with Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you, and now we sit, CD, at week 3 of the preseason, and this is the one that the coaches probably think is pretty valuable, right?
Certainly. This is the dress rehearsal. This is the one where your starters are going to play. You might even game plan a little bit more than you do with a normal preseason game, and then you've got to decide, do you bring them back after halftime and get them going again in the third quarter so they're ready to go when the regular season begins? I'm eager to see how these coaches will handle that.
The veteran kicker Mason Crosby set to do the honors here. And off we go from Oakland. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Derek Carr is set and ready to roll as he leads the Raiders out onto the field. Carr in his 6th season, 28 years of age, former second-round pick back in 2014. And a lot of people feel this is a critical season for Derek Carr as a Raider. Remember, there were whispers that the Raiders might be in the market for a QB in the draft, even contemplating maybe making a run at Kyler Murray. But in the end, they stood pat with Derek Carr, hoping that he's the long. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A bad start there, a big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
Following the sack, it's 2nd and 18. The first carry now for Doug Martin. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on third down. And the offensive starters here for the Raiders.
And the play of this otherwise, this could be a long game.
This is Jalen Richard, the 4th-year man from Southern Miss. And he's going to lose yardage here, back to his own 18.
Later on.
The Packers take the field. Aaron Rodgers at the helm. 2019 marking his 12th season as the Packers starter. 15th season overall. Last year for Rodgers, 25 touchdown passes, just 2 interceptions. They'll go with their leading rusher from a season ago. This is Aaron Jones. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. It's the linebacker, Brandon Marshall, there on the tackle. And now the offensive starters for the Packers.
Running back Aaron Rodgers is your quarterback. You definitely want to up your game.
On 2nd and 7, Rodgers complete to Jones. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. Now Rodgers. That's caught by Geronimo Allison. And he's taken down inside the 30. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first.
Evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch. But you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. And we take a look now at the defense for the Raiders.
Let's talk about Vontaze Burfict, the versatile linebacker. You can play him inside, you can play him outside. Undrafted coming out of college, and that's still few.
From the 24, Rodgers escaping the pressure right. Open here is Allison. That's complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Rodgers to Allison. Good for a Green Bay first.
Situation. The field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that could be pinpoint.
They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you nerves at the start of a game. It's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. Covered beautifully. Throwing his Carr on third down. And that will be incomplete. Make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have...
He's got a man complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Now a first down carry by Jones. On 2nd and 12, Rodgers. And this is, he'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now Rodgers. He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. They'll run on first down. Jones. I dare you to throw it on every down.
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Looking. Throwing is Rodgers on third down. And he's got it. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker. Sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back.
Line. Here's Martin as they begin on the ground.
Now, if trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
Now Carr. This is caught by Williams. They run the counter with Martin. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. His second season in Oakland, 723 yards last year. They're 4 years due to injuries and other various issues. But now he says his full focus is on 2019. Pass complete, Carr to Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Look back at our first half, as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Carr's throw caught by Grant. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Carr now to throw.
Might go by feel. If they have a really good first drive to start the third quarter, they might pull them after that. If not...
And now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Carr to throw again. They're able to locate Wilson. And he doesn't. Now Carr again. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. On 2nd and goal, Carr. What's he looking at?
For the most part in preseason, they're playing pretty basic stuff, pretty vanilla.
And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone? Success story.
Rodgers now on first down. And that is incomplete.
Help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. It falls incomplete. He'll have a first down past the 40.
When they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a first down.
Eluding the pressure right. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside. Rodgers going to throw. complete. This is Lewis. Throwing again on second down. Rodgers. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And he's got the connection to the tight end, Graham. Touchdown, Packers. Jimmy Graham. As the first half is winding down, and the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here. Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows?
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in just a minute. This one of 6 games on this Thursday night as we begin preseason week.
It's a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And that we've had guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Maurice Hurst on 3rd and long. Throwing now is Rodgers. To touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. What makes a draw play like that successful?
What we get pass.
Looking to throw on second down. Carr. Catch is made by Hunter Renfrow.
See it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get it.
They fake the handoff. Now Carr. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Shotgun now for Carr. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, as it turned out. Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Drive underway, and they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit and try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
He'll rifle this one deep right, and that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Outside the 30. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. They'll have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
14 yards, good for a Packer first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled.
Busting this open, that's a good start for him.
Now a first down carry, it's Williams. 2nd and 5 now. Rodgers, flush to his right. Got a man open, it's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. A 9-yard touchdown there. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor in effect.
Drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go to drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But listen, there will be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. That's back-to-back. Jared Cook last year. He's now in New Orleans. But Wilson, 5 years in Seattle, then one. Glennon. And that one got 3rd and 10. Now Glennon. He gets it complete to Harris. And down inside the 15 he goes. And this is going to read since taking over as he's giving his guys a first down. They're going to look to throw. It's brought in by Harris. Trying to pound it in with Washington. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Raiders get a score closer.
Well, we got a little bit of everything on that run. Offensive line creating some space, but how about the guy running behind his pads into the end zone?
What is that left to do? But here comes the onside kick. And this one's going to be covered up by the Packers hands team.
They get it done. No fail like they had in Seattle.
A first down run, good. Now the backup Kaiser to throw. Got a man, it's Tanyan complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up.
On first down, it's Williams. And he'll... 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a first and goal.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now,
they'll try and run. This is Williams. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further.
Well, from where we sit, Brandon, it certainly appears that that touchdown should just about do it.
Probably, but I'll play the analyst here. You know we've seen some crazier endings.
That we have, and maybe we should sit back and make sure we can stay around for the ride because it could be a wild finish.
Crosby with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do what's called a running play, and pretty much said to
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. On third down, Richard. And he won't be 7 seconds to go in the 4th. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Here's Williams to return. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
So good field position for the Packers as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. And you look back over the score sheet. Interesting. A very clean game. No turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that, not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say good night from Oakland.